moment. One moment. Hello? Hello? Alright, we're live on YouTube now. I had an issue in the intro and forgot to fix it. Any YouTube viewers out there, I'm very sorry that you were stuck watching Twitch or believing I don't exist today. Here we go. Modern 6. Error. None of those. Famine. None of those. I already go for all of the different Pale Horsemen. History is 8. City is 98. Genocide. Please not. No genocides, thank goodness. Is it going to be a disaster word? No disasters. I need good things. War. 16 wars. No, it needs to be good. It needs to be good. Ancient. 2. Disease. None. Latin. Can we just say like a couple positive words? Is that possible? Positive words? One Latin thing. How about island? One island thing. Democracy. There's none. Cats. No cats, unfortunately. Is it a European thing? No Europe at all. Vatican. There's none of those. Capital. 5 capitals. Valley. There's one valley somewhere. Large. Or 12 large things. It is the largest city in something. Is it a southern element? 3 souths. Rome. There's none. Prosperity. None of those. A positive word, thank you. No positivity. Romance? No romance. Population. It has a population of numbers here. State, 3. Asian, 6 Asians. You have the word hug. Thank you, Daigle. Hugs to you too. Region? There's 10. State? I think I did a moment ago. I did. How about Pittsburgh? Sorry, my friend. It is not the largest Pittsburgh today. Bangkok. 0 of those. Seoul. 1 of those. Africa. There's none. Is it in China? 1 China. How about million? There are at least 1 million people here. Billion. That would be a lot. 0 of those. Apple pie. Mob. Baseball. Oh, I feel better. There's 2 baseballs. There's 2 baseballs. What on earth's happening here? Is it in Japan? It is. Is it Mongolia? It is not. Is it Tokyo? 14 Tokyos. Is it India? None of those. Is it Taipei? What other Japanese cities do you know? Is it Hokkaido? It is not. Is that a sister city? There are probably 6 sister cities. Is it in Sapporo? None of those. Is it going to be Osaka? 2 of those. Kyoto! 3 of those. Is it an island? Earlier we did that one. Korean. There's none. Nagano. There's no Nagano. Is it Kokura? None of those. Okinawa. No Okinawa. Nagano spelled a different way. Unfortunately not. Is it on Hiroshima? Hiroshima? Nope. Snow? None of those. Nakano? None of those. Alright. What else we got, team? Largest city in the blank region of Japan. Do we know Japanese regions? Because I am not certain I'll get this one right. We'll just see what happens. Sendai. No. Is it in the Edo period? It is 7 Edos. It existed a while back. Is it part of Bungo? I don't know what Bungo is, but one of those. Good job. Songoku? None of those. Shikoku, that's where my wife's from. No Shikokus. Hakone, Hakone is great. I can't spell it, but it's great. No Hakones, unfortunately. Is it in Nagasaki? None of those. Chiba Prefecture? No. How about the Tango people? No. It's not a place. I think it's putting random words in. Honshu! Alright, something Honshu. What is Honshu? It's a big island. Which big island is it? The one I live on! Put Kanto in real quick. It is not the Kanto area. Keep going. Hokkaido, I think we did before, but no. Is it on a beach? No beaches, unfortunately. Alright. I'm trying to think what cities we haven't done yet that I know of. Etchu? Is that a thing? Or it might be a sneeze. Is it in the southern area? No. The Tigers! There is 1 Tigers, so... What have we not mentioned that's useful? Fukushima's too big, unfortunately. Sendai, good spelling. Is it Chitose? I don't know Chitose at all. Thank you for good saying. Kobe! None of those. Iwami. You can start cheating in 21. Okay. So Tokyo, Yokohama does not fit. We did Osaka, Kyoto. We did Chiba. We did Sendai. What else is left? Ebisu? No. Toku? That's a brand name of a train. No. Is it have rice in it? No. Nagoya. Hey, there you go. We didn't mention Nagoya. Well done, Avatar. You found it first. I've not been there. Not been there. It's in Chubu. Nagoya is the largest city in the Chubu region of Japan. It's the fourth most populous city in Japan, with a population of 2.3 million in 2020, and the principal city of the Tokyo metropolitan area, which is the third most populous metropolitan area in Japan, with a population of 10.11 million. Located on the Pacific coast in central Honshu, it's the capital and most populous city of Aichi Prefecture, with the port of Nagoya being Japan's largest seaport. Have I been there? No, I've not been there. Hey, Brickaded, thank you for these 7 bits for 7 tabs. Yep, I have 7 tabs open. Thank you much for the bits. 1 per tab. Super generous of you as always. Good job, folks, getting it. I probably would have gotten it eventually, but it would have taken a whole bunch of thinking. This is where Ghibli Park is. Ghibli Park. Things my students love to see. All the anime stuff. Fascinating. Fascinating. Let's go ahead and do a tiny little bit of Rizdactyl, and then we'll get on to the game. Yesterday, we went right to game time. I think I said hello for approximately 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, and then we took off right away. Perhaps that was a better way of being. Hey, thank you, Maharo. I'm glad to be back from the doctor also. What do I want to do today? Okay, I'm going to start with one of my own, and then we will do one from the list, which is actually getting shorter. Can you believe it? Friends, guess anything you want to. Any word, any idea, any question, or questions here, and we'll see if we can discover the Wikipedia page together. Should be a good one, we'll see. Is it a person? It is actually a person. Yes, a person today. What else you got? Is it burn when exposed to flame? It would burn when exposed to flame. Is slow mode still on? Oh, sorry. Friends, be freed. I'm very sorry on that one. Here we go. Are they alive? Yes. HPG, good seeing you. Are they a man? Yes. Are they European? No. Are they female? No. Would they likely own a bread box? I don't think so, but I could imagine for the sake of whimsy they do. Yeah, I don't think they own a bread box, but I could imagine them doing so. Sure. Are they American? Yes. Is it person fictional? No. Are they Asian? No. They are American. This is the monoculture in which we all live. Are they an entertainer? They are an entertainer of some sort. Are they bearded? At times, it's not necessarily part of their getup. Are they in politics? According to an article I read a couple days ago, they sure do wish they weren't, but occasionally they do get into politics, yes. Is it Ludwig? No. Are they an actor? Yes. Are they an author? Yes. Is it me? No. Are they living? Yes. Are they a pro athlete? No. So yes, actor, yes, author. In politics, yes, but he wishes he weren't. Is it DDL? It is not DDL, no. I don't think of Down the List as being political even a little bit. Yeah, I know nothing of his politics other than his relationship to his homeland. Does Stephen King know? Did they have a podcast? It's not on the Wikipedia page if they did. Is it Colbert? No. Is it Arnold Schwarzenegger? No. No. None of those. Actor and author. That already narrows it down somewhat, doesn't it? What else could it be? Is he on TV? Not primarily. Not primarily, no. I'm sure he's been on TV at times, but it's not the primary. Are they funny? At times, yeah. Has he won an Oscar? He has not won an Oscar, no. Is he best known for movies? No. Has he recently published a book? I don't believe so. Are they over the age of 40? Yes. They are over the age of 40, indeed. What am I looking for? Recently published book. No. No, they're not. Are they from New York? You mean the greatest city in the world? Yes, indeed, they are from New York City. Have they been in a Marvel movie? No. Were they on Frasier? No. Is it Jon Stewart? It is not Jon Stewart, no. Is it De Niro? It is not De Niro, no. Have I read any of their books? I have read their books, yes. Are they Lin-Manuel Miranda? I gave it away so terribly. It is indeed Lin-Manuel Miranda. The books he writes are the books of lyrics for his various shows. If I hadn't sung there, I suspect that would take much, much longer. Anyway, there you go. The fellow who wrote Hamilton, the fellow who wrote In the Heights, recently had a little article in the New York Times about how, number one, making the play Hamilton has forced him into political debates about the founding fathers of the US he wants nothing to do with. And then he made a statement about the best way to help Puerto Rico some years back, and it's been hanging around his neck ever since. So he is definitely someone who just wants to make his music. Speaking of Sondheim earlier, Sondheim is or was one of LLM's mentors, and so he. Miranda wrote an email to Sondheim talking about all of the very challenging critique he'd been getting on political questions he could not respond well to because he's not a politician. And Sondheim wrote back, "Isolate yourself from everything. Do the work, love your family, ignore everything else." And I believe this is a version of Don't Feed the Trolls for those of us who make musicals, apparently. Alright, let's go ahead and do one more of these things. Wrong button, and then we'll... Wrong button. Right button. And then we'll get ourselves to today's game. Hamilton's in theaters this coming weekend. It is true. I'm excited to go see it. It's not here this weekend for us, but it should be a good one. Okay, Kaz, I've got a good one from you. I'd like to go ahead and do. This is one that is... I should maybe do one that's a little bit better known by different kinds of people. I think this is a good one. All right, from Kaz, we have one right now. I'm going to pull it up, and yeah, we'll go ahead and check it out together and see if you know it. Any question you want to, yes, no, or otherwise, and see what's what. Boo Alexander Hamilton the person? Hey, he wanted a monarchy. Isn't that fun? Is this unique? I'm going to say yes, it's unique. Would it burn when exposed to a flame? Yes, it would. Is it a place? It is not a place, no. No. On the is it unique, there's an argument that it's not unique. I'm willing to play the game either way. It doesn't need to be thought as unique, but it could be. Would you find it in a library? No. Is it a written work? No. Is it made from paper? No. I think no. Yeah, I think no. Is it tangible? Absolutely. It's tangible. Absolutely. Is it in a common American household? It is not in a common American household. It's also larger than things I can put in my hand. It would fit in a bread box. It would not fit in a bread box unless there was a tremendous amount of like cutting and pushing and a very large bread box possibly. But it doesn't fit in the hand, unfortunately. We're scrolling and learning, scrolling and learning. You can play a game of which suggestion I chosen. Kaz, I'm sorry. I'm sorry there's so many good ones you send in. I think Kaz is perhaps the best submitter. It's amazing. Is it a powder? It is not a powder. You could make it into a powder, but we're getting real weird real fast. It's not powder, no. Would it fit in a semi-truck trailer? It would. Is it in a specific location? It is not. It is not, no. It could be, but it's not. Is it mostly made of air? No. Could it be cut? Yes. Is it the Shroud of Turin? No. No. Like I said, it's kind of an in-between thing, where it could be unique, or it could not be unique. If we're talking about a unique one, then a lot of my prior answers are no, etc. We'll see. Was it constructed or grown? That's not a yes-no question, but it was a constructed thing, yes. Is there writing on it? I believe at times, maybe. I'm going to say no. No, there's not writing on it. It's inessential to talk about writing here. Did it exist before 1400? No, it is man-made, yes. It is man-made, absolutely. It is suspected to be fake or something other than what it claims to be. It is suspected to be a fake thing, yes. Suspected to be fake. What's in my pocket? Is it nothing? I don't think we've ever done nothing as a Wikipedia answer. Man, that'd be brutal. Is it the Mona Lisa? It is not the Mona Lisa, no. No. Kaz, at this point, I think you should have which one it is. Is it a work of art? Not in the standard sense, but in some sense, yes, it is a work of art, just not in the normal way. Is it religious? It's not religious, no. Not religious. Is it a piece of string? It is not a piece of string, though if only it were. If you watched The Hobbit, cool, cool, cool. My wife has The Hobbit on the shelf as a book she wants to read. She's not made it through any of the Tolkien books, and so we can't watch any of the movies. Is it a forgery of a work of art? No. No. Yeah, like I said, the work of art part is a compliment paid to it, as opposed to us saying, this is obviously art hanging on a museum wall. Is something supposed to be inside of it? Yes. Did it exist pre-1900? Yes. Is it a forgery? In one sense, yes, but no, it's not a forgery. Not a forgery. Not a forgery. I need to look up a word right now. Definition, please. The Ship of Theseus. It is not the Ship of Theseus, no. That exists before 1400. Is it? Alright, we don't need to look up anything. Is it the Mechanical Turk? It is the Mechanical Turk, Radicus. Well done indeed. It is the fake chess-playing machine. You jam a chess master inside and the machine automatically plays chess, defeating the greatest minds of Europe. Yeah, so I want to say, we can scroll down to see this thing. There is one Mechanical Turk, but it has been remade. And so I want to say that this is in some sense a work of art. It's absolutely amazing. The mechanism necessary to have an individual person sitting inside the box and pulling this and that to beat Napoleon at chess or whatever else. There you go. There you go. Mechanical Turk. What fun is that? All right, cool. That's all the ones for today, I think. You're thinking about submitting this one? It's all right. Kaz got there first, and it was a lovely submission indeed. No booing today. All right, I think that's enough opening blather. I think it's time for us to do a little game called Victoria 3. So, yeah. Goal, Turtle Island. The goal is to liberate our people, the Native Americans generally, from the grip of an overreaching pile of Americans. It's too late to repel the initial invasion, but now we're going to throw them out. Like the bouncer coming upon a fist fight inside the bar. It's too late to stop the fist fight. It's now time to drag them out. Does that work? Sure. Have any of you ever worked in a bar? I can imagine it being very, very unpleasant indeed. Of the many jobs I've wanted to do throughout my life, that is not one of them. Just the idea of having to maintain order or engage positively with people who are, you know, drinking the sauce, a little rough. All right, why are we looking at Great Britain? I have no idea. I have no idea. Grubsley, I think this is a buggy game. I haven't hit a bug in a very long time. I think the game's been patched very, very nicely. Friends, this is us. Behold, the Indian Territory of Oklahoma. Our standard of living is up to 10. As always, this is what I'm most proud of. It makes me very, very happy when I can make people happy. And unfortunately, we do still have slavery. We're working on getting rid of that as best we can. But it's a lovely, lovely thing to have, to have people in a better standard of life than they began. And we'll keep on working on that. Our literacy rate is up. as is our overall GDP. The hard stop in the playthrough so far has been my inability to get infrastructure going. We're using 20 out of 11, and 11's all you can get right now. But last time, we invented the railroad. So, we are 82 weeks away from our very first railroad online. Now, will we be able to find the people to staff it? Will we be able to find enough steel to make the engines go? I got some doubts, but we're trying the best we can. As I mentioned before, right now we're comfortable being inside of the US while we build ourselves up. There's a real fear I have of the US forcing annexation upon us. The US is currently run by a slaver with an amazing beard named Evander Duval, and I'm deeply interested in making him not so domineering to me, but we do what we can do. Other things here, we're currently gaining recognition. Amazing. Amazing. So it is the case that we got some really interesting early game prestige elements. Notably, we have a play that's being played around the world, a play about the importance of opening your borders so you can get more workers inside. That's what the play's about. It's not amazing. Now, unfortunately, we can't be recognized because we are a subject of the US. If we weren't, there'd be a possibility of having one of the great powers, probably Britain, I expect. Is that true? Yeah, probably Britain would recognize us. So we're in really good shape, except for the whole part where, Daddy won't let us go out to play ourselves. Is that weird? I say Uncle instead. Uncle Sam, indeed. If I attempt to increase my autonomy, the US will get very, very angry. Now, if they say no, it makes us even more desirous of liberty. But for the moment, I don't want to cause a shooting war between myself and the US. We want to wait for a time either when the Civil War breaks out and the US is busy with itself, or a time when, this is actually possibly good enough. A time when Britain and Spain hate the US enough that they want to limit the power of the US, and so they might help me to become free. We'll see how that goes. All right, appointed bureaucrats is moving along. We're trying to make our nation a little bit more meritocratic if possible, and we'll see. Hello, Lord Rargasm, good seeing you. How goes the takeover of Tulsa people? I don't know. You know, it's not a takeover. It's offering them a better life than they'd have otherwise. Something. A shooting war wouldn't last long. If I can hold the border until the British come over, they have territory here. If I can hold the border until the British come over, then we might survive. It's just a bit of an issue. It's just a bit of an issue. Can we hold the border? Our military is currently 3 armies called the Native Liberation Front. It is 3 lines of infantry. The US, by comparison, has a military of 28 standing armies and 133 conscript battalions. Do I believe in conscription right now? Nope. So we got our 3 dudes. They're trying their best. We do have an army that is exciting. The only issue right now is if we fight the US, I believe we get thrown out of their market. And so we lose access to all of the guns that we need to make our army go. So probably over the coming months, years, I need to get a local military industry up and going. We'll see. So the evangelicals have lost a little bit of affection for me. Previously, they were giving me more work ethic, telling the people to go straight to hell if they did not work hard. It's only up by 1 point, correct? 3 points. So some modifier fell off. What it is, I don't know. All right, appointed bureaucrats up to 37% chance of going through next. Should be good. We lost a fair number of loyalists last time. And the issue is the loyalists are leaving our nation. Oh boy. I joked earlier, but when I opened the borders via migration control, it seems that a lot of people decided to go find better life elsewhere. And so our population, I believe, it went down a little bit. It is climbing back up again. And we see what the pop growth is from. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's from. Where's that listed? I think in Oklahoma itself. Here we go. As of right now, our birth rate is double our mortality. That is great. Should I build the Great Wall of Resorty? No, no, no. I mean, if it's a military wall, sure. But if it's just to keep people in/out, that's not part of the playthrough. The playthrough is to liberate the Native Americans, to reset our relationship with the conquerors, with the colonizers, with the disease-bearing folk, and then gradually return at least to our territorial setup, our territory of where the Comanche are rightfully from. We're not Comanche, we're Cherokee. Sorry, C's confused me. Friends, where are the Cherokee from? Do any of you know? I think it should be our first goal to retake Cherokee land. Unless it's very far away, in which case I'll stay locally. Alright, 59 more weeks. Going to Georgia. Any of you know that song by the Mountain Goats? Going to Georgia. He doesn't play it anymore because it has some violence as coercive relationship move. But it's an amazing song about, I don't know, broken hearts and the things that one will do when one is young and foolish. Going to Georgia. Mountain Goats, one of my favorite bands. You probably know them if you've been here for a while. Can't say enough good things. John Green, the author, also likes them quite a bit. And, yeah. Weird little guy, John Darnielle, reads a whole bunch of, I don't know, everything. Ancient Greek philosophy shows up. There are references to pop culture and everything in between. Yeah, and initially the Mountain Goats albums were recorded Darnielle himself playing guitar and singing into a little cassette deck in his room. And so the earliest stuff is such low quality recordings. But there's a certain energy and intensity that perhaps one can only get when one's wailing alone in one's home, unlike putting it together in a recording studio. So who knows? Anyway, a topic for Discord, possibly a topic for the music channel. Also, I'm not sure if this person is here, but earlier today, or yesterday rather, we had a conversation on Discord about Zizek's philosophy of how like action and ideology fit together. It was a nice little conversation. I thought nothing of it other than how nice was that. This morning, the same poster leaves a message saying, "Hey Resorty, thanks for helping me pass an oral defense." Apparently the little conversation on Discord helped someone pass their schoolwork at a fairly high level. So that's right, I'll help you do your homework. Just send me a message on Discord. It's fine. I mean, I'm glad to talk about anything, as long as not direct. If it's direct, like, teacher, question number 3 says I need an example. Like, I'm not going to give you an example that you put around your homework, but sure, if you're doing oral defenses, more power to you. Alright, we're going to go Game Speed 4 for a little bit, because not much is happening. Waiting for the law to go through. I have a bunch of authority I could use to suppress the slavery movement, I guess. We're not doing anything else with it right now. ChatGPT, more like Chat Resorty. I mean, at heart I'm a teacher. I have things I like to share, and so I will continue sharing them. And, you know, I think that's okay. Now, this has been one awkward thing in the past. I've had students whose parents were professors, and man, the advantage that gives someone in understanding what college is all about, in understanding the things you need to do and how to approach classes and so on, it sure is something. It's a huge leg up. You know, I was a first generation student. My parents didn't go to college, or didn't graduate at least, and you know, when I started at college, I had no idea what I was doing, and I didn't know who to ask. So I'm glad to be a resource to anybody who needs to know more about schooling or really anything else. Streaming, I guess, is the other thing I know some, but yeah, especially if you're a tier 3 sub. Tier 3 sub for me to do your homework personally You upload it, I'll take a sample of your handwriting and put it into ChatGPT, and it'll all work out somehow. Back when I had just finished grad school, I got an email from, what's it called? I don't remember now, but there's a website that helped students do their papers for thousands of dollars. People who were PhDs would put together like your essay and submit it for you. And they had thousands of dollars to do this. And at the time, I couldn't find a full-time job. I thought for a second, wait. Get paid to write philosophy papers? Cheat the system that's not giving me a full-time job? I decided against it, but it's an interesting phenomenon that people with means can buy fully written papers written by people who have PhDs. Insanity. Hey, Lord Game Boy, good seeing ya! Haven't been able to watch me live because time zone's difference, but I'm a really great guy. Oh, Lord Game Boy over on YouTube. Thank you! You're buttering me up. It's very kind. Twitch, why is it that the YouTube people always come in and say such nice things, and you all say, exclamation point, wrong? But Lord Game Boy, thank you. I'm glad you're able to watch the VODs. Hang out that way is as cool as anything else. Alright, appointed bureaucrats are done. Serving the country's best interests in exchange for some high wages. Brickhead Ed, thank you for the bits, I appreciate it. What do you mean this is not a therapy stream? YouTube loves me just the way I am. The algorithm's not sure about me, but there you go. The honeymoon phase is over. We had our good 3 years. Now, I don't know, I've been looking at our Twitch streams. The law has gone through, hooray, hooray. We're finally losing a little bit of money. At some point soon I will begin increasing taxes, notably on services, I think. That's a lot of influence to spend for almost no money, but we'll see. We'll see. Have I ever played EU? Yeah, Vex, I've played a little bit of EU4 back in the day. I intend to play some more EU just before EU5 comes out. So if you want to see some Resorty plays Europa Universalis, you will see it. I find the game pretty darn confusing and a little bit less than fully engaging. But I'm hoping I can figure it out with you all at my side. Then when EU5 comes out, no one's gonna have any idea how to play it, so we'll laugh and stumble and fumble our way through, and that'll be a good time. So yeah, looking forward to EU5 in a big way. I know people who play the EU4 games are interested in staying with EU4. They're often very suspicious of EU5, but as I have no strong feelings about any of the EUs, yeah, sounds good, it'd be a good time. Build more construction to lose more money. That's a way to lose money in a hurry, but I guess in that I'm not collecting any taxes, we could go ahead and build another construction facility. What was the reason I was hesitant to do that? Also, I just put 5 of them in queue. Only the one, thank you, only the one. But yeah, if I want to lose money quickly, this is the way to do it. Absolutely. 100%. Good call, good call. Back to Game Speed 4, we're good. EU5 be a buggy, unfocused mess. You're so cynical. So cynical about the game not being at least fun. See, I have no problem with a game. I've said this 1,000 times. I have no problem with a Paradox game being a bit of a buggy mess when the game starts, because I know that Paradox will always fix it, right? Paradox does not abandon bad games or buggy games, as long as some people will play it when the game first comes out. Oh, Brickhead, thank you for the total of 100 bits. I missed your initial message, but thanks a whole bunch for saying hello, and hello to you, and good seeing you. Wait, the 7 earlier was the tabs. Ed, whichever way, thanks for some bits, I appreciate it. Very kind of you. But I believe in Paradox. I believe that Paradox is a company that, on the whole, believes in their games. And so as long as people will play along, as long as people get invested in the game and, buy enough copies that it seems worth working on it, they'll do so. I don't know. Yeah, I think Imperator's a rough one. Lamplighters League, good call. There have been a few other ones that were challenging, but I don't know. I feel strange talking about it in that I own Paradox stock, but really sincerely, I've never been like, once the DLCs start coming, okay, y'all are mentioning a lot of games that might be a challenge. When it comes to EU, all right, never mind. I'm crossing my arms in disappointment with you all. We have to be hopeful. Have to be hopeful. In Paradox we trust, because if not, why are we playing the games, right? If Paradox is gonna cheat us out of our money, why am I even playing any Paradox game? I don't know, team. I don't know. Game Boy asks, will we ever see Star Sector again? I mean, again, or ever again is a very long time. It's possible. Star Sector is not a game that's first of mind for me. I want to love it, but I do find it a little repetitive because I don't really understand the ship situation. If I had a better understanding of how to customize my ships and turn them into useful machines, other than people in chat just saying, do this, you need this kind of gun, you big dum-dum, right? If I could learn more about the game, I might find it more fun, possibly. I don't know. We'll ever see a City Skylines 2 playthrough. We played it when it first came out. It was just fine for me. I didn't have any bugs. It was a little slow in places, like some graphical hangs, but I don't know. I think I'm just an agreeable human. And so when it comes to, will we complain about a game we're playing? Almost never, because somebody worked really hard on that. That's my view. Alright, what do we want to change? What seems good? Unfortunately, on racial segregation, most people are opposed to it. Earlier, we looked at getting rid of slavery, because most people just don't care. I need to find a way of getting the intelligentsia in power without crashing the government. And I think we established we cannot do that. It becomes completely illegitimate. And I don't think there's anything I can do with the intelligentsia that will fix that. Yeah, the intelligentsia are just not politically powerful enough for me to get them in there right now. So, the best government right now is the government of the evangelicals and the rural folk. The PB are currently leading the government, and what's your leader? A moderate, yeah, fine, whatever. I don't need the loan interest rate reduction right now, so I'm okay with kicking them out of power. Bring me the greatest government! We're getting a little conservative for a little bit. I wonder if there are laws they'll pass that I would like. If not, we may have to reform a second time. Professional army, they want the national militia instead. I don't know. Let's just have 2 battalions, higher barracks level, more conscription. That could be good. Most people are in favor of it because the rural folk really want a militia across the nation. Might go for that. Other things that are allowable right now, protectionism, not for right now. Frontier colonization, not useful. Yeah. I guess we'll go national militia for right now. So we have a pile of conscripts, hopefully, to fight off the good old USA. Slaves have risen up in Oklahoma. They're not a significant force yet. There are multiple ways to appropriate them. We want freedom. We want retribution. Does that really surprise you? Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves. Isn't it a striking thing that we who have been colonized and are being held in a space not our own, by people not our own, are doing the same thing to our slaves? It's terrible. We can negotiate with them or go and just fight against them. I'm going to go ahead and negotiate with them. It leads to aristocrats being radicals, but that's just fine. I don't want to affect the lower classes too much, and yeah, the pro-slavery movement is being increasingly dismantled, but I need to find some way of... Yeah, I need to find some way of getting a leader of one of the major factions to be opposed to slavery, or get the intellectuals up there, because intellectuals by design are anti-slavery, so it's gonna take some work, but big old nerds coming in soon. How are we doing on researching the academy? 7 months left, and I can possibly make a university. We have 16 weeks left. Game Speed 5. Watch the numbers fly on by. Also, it is the case that colonization of Nebraska is completed. How long until there's nothing left except for Oklahoma for them to take? Frustrated with the lengthy legal process surrounding the national militia, the leader of our people approached us and offered to expedite the process with personal connections. If we use this, we'll go through faster, but the armed forces will be displeased. Holy cow, the armed forces are furious with me. They do not like that I've moved off of having a professional army only. Nope, we're fine. It goes through slower, not an issue at all. The USA has colonized all of Oklahoma. Or the beginning of Oklahoma, sorry. Oh boy. Oh boy. Also, we are losing our overall prestige level. That's fine. Like I said, our prestige came from a timed event. Arizona has gold. Please don't take my territory. Yeah, if we end up being annexed this time, I'm thinking if I restart, I'm not sure I want to, but if I restart, we might try to colonize the Comanche before the Americans can do so. Before they get that proper claim on Oklahoma. Alright, the rest of Texas is being colonized also. USA. Okay, first railroads online. Things become very good very suddenly. So in Ray the Railroad, we subsidize the heck out of it. It is the most important thing right now in the whole wide world of sports. So, how do I get people over to it? Mexico winning the Texas War might be important. Red Rover, I kind of agree with that. Yeah, had Mexico won the Texas War, the balance of power would be very different. Now, as of right now, Mexico likes me and hates the US. So if it's possible to get Britain against the US, like joining the war actively, then Mexico might come along too. Unfortunately, in becoming a minor power again, I'm going to lose some of my interests, I believe. Which one, though, I'll lose first, I'm not sure. But we have things positive with the Hudson Bay Company. Trying our best to make everyone love us. It's tough work, tough work. Is the railroad getting online? Still isn't. Alright, what's your issue? It just says it failed to hire, so I had to wait 3 more days. Am I using any decrees? Yeah, Game Boy, I'm totally capped on decrees. I cannot use any more of them other than enlistment efforts if I want to. But we don't need that until war is coming. I guess I can turn it on, like no reason not to do so, except that having more authority allows one to, I mean, charge taxes of course, but also allows one to have enactment go through faster. That said, positive outcome. People want the national militia. It's going great. It's going great. I have to have a border with Mexico to bring British troops in. They can't attack from here, Red Rover. I thought the British would be able to attack into the US from their territory in New Brunswick. I might be wrong about that. If it ends up being just me, we got some problems. Anyway, friends, it's time for a quick ad break. We've been live now for 1 hour, 30 minutes. Thank you for being here as far as you have, as much as you have. And so we have a brand new crossword to do today, I believe. Have I done the Monday puzzle? Maybe I have. Maybe I have. We'll see what we find here. All right. To the crosswords. Monday puzzle. Haven't done it all. Let's get to it. So, virile means what? Manly, possibly? Powerful? That sort of thing. Yeah, but virility is manliness usually. Victories for Karpov are mates, so it is probably manly. Marbles and tennis balls are both orbs, sure. The title character of the short story, Tobermory, for one. I have no idea at all. With 3 letters, I'm thinking it's a dog or a cat or something. We'll see. Okay is acceptable. Okay could also mean a verb to okay to something, so like agree possibly. Grant. Well, he's a president. It's also a kind of like governmental philanthropy, financial aid, that kind of thing. Not sure. Raz. Raz is to tease someone, I believe. A neighbor of Draco. Or Draco. I hope this isn't one of those Harry Potter things. I don't know much about that. A name that comes from a Celtic goddess. What's the down? A sharp. Probably agile, actually. What's this one? We're in a Debussy a title. Debussy. Well, something is wrong here, definitely. What's ye? Carry a balance is actually O. So we have 2 things incorrect there. I liked both of them, but now I do not at all. Okay. Macho instead of manly, good. Sharp. Sharp. Quick-witted. Well-honed, not sure. A Claire de Lune is Debussy. Oh, speaking of CK3 and other Paradox games y'all are discussing in chat, did you all see there's going to be a Fog of War ability or a Fog of War setting for the game in CK3 if you want to? Can you imagine the way in which it's going to change the role-playing elements of CK3 and indeed the strategy elements also? If you do not begin the game knowing of literally everyone in the world, who's running what all the way through. I've mentioned this previously, is how nice it is to imagine your ruler somewhat constrained by, I don't know, how far the horses go. What do you think about it? Anwar's successor, this is the president of Egypt, don't recall right now. Sharp. Sharp. I have no idea. All right. Is it Hosei? Hosei? Loses one shirt. Loses one's shirt. Literally that means to like have a bad gambling outcome by quite a bit. It could also be literally taking off one's clothes. Tans, you take your shirt off normally. Swims, that kind of thing. Blank Amis. Donizetti aria, typically performed with 9 high C's. I assume it's moi, but I have no idea. Ben-Hur author Wallace, I do not know. Put out. To emit, to snuff, possibly. Western elevation. Western elevation. Could be like a mesa, possibly. We'll pause there and see what's going on. You like Fog of War for roleplay immersion. Yeah, same as me, Blue Moon. I think it also does make changes for strategy, right? If you have to think not in terms of who is in the middle of Eastern Europe when you're hanging out in India, well, I think that makes it interesting. I bet it also encourages more coalition building than simply taking over the neighbors quickly. But maybe not. I look forward to seeing how it works. And do you have to get adventuring parties to go wander and learn about the world, or will instead be just, I don't know, whenever you take something over, possibly. Regardless, back to it. The money is going down very, very slowly. The lack of workers continues. Alright, we're up to 200,000 people, currently gaining 3.26% per year. You all can do the math. I think what it comes to, though, is it's going to take basically forever to do anything. We've hired 12 people. Alright. It is beginning, our very first railway, and so I believe we are now getting some infrastructure. However, as you see, engines and coal are both incredibly expensive. We're currently making a coal mine. However, who's going to work it, I know not. Yeah, how many people live in the Comanche area? Can we see? Population, 57,000 people. If only I had invited them to join us through colonization, but no luck at all. How much infrastructure do we still need, and how much do we have? Alright, so infrastructure is 23 of 13. Currently the railway is giving us 0. Cool. Because I'm part of a market, I'm not able to directly subsidize anything, I believe. Let's see if that's true. So let's go ahead and check out, I guess basically anything would be fine. Yeah. So the tariff limits are set by the US. They're not set by me. Because I'd love to just give big money to anyone who's willing to give me trains. But at this point, unfortunately, we can't do that. So we just sit on a pile of money. In the old game, we'd be able to... Would we? I guess we'd be able to directly import things by using our convoys. But I think that's, again, only the case for the above power. If we were to change our level of authority, what do we get access to that we didn't have previously? So In-Ray Puppet can't start their own diplomatic plays. Okay, if we go up to... Where is it? Becoming a blank. If we increase our economy, we become a blank. Is that independent then? I thought there's a level above Puppet, isn't there? I don't remember what it is. But yeah, down here we have full annexation. I don't want to be a blank. I want to be a real boy. Just not sure. Okay. Game speed goes up again. What can I do right now to help our nation? Soon the university. Then I probably want to start engaging in ways of improving production that need fewer people, ideally. I don't think I have many of those research yet. You start very early on technology in this game compared to the rest of the world, but we're catching up gradually. The university will help quite a bit as we get that going. My coffee is empty. Next ad break will be a real ad break. No crossword allowed. I can't have my no coffee. Looking through the approval there. Yeah, as of right now, we have no interest group that's strongly opposed to us except for the armed forces. And that's because I'm trying to change the setup of the military to get more conscripts. I believe one can still maintain one's active standing army. There we go. Simultaneously, Napoleonic Warfare, awesome, and Academia both come in. On production now. What would be the most helpful improvement? I know we got the Bessemer process a bit ago. We don't have steel at all. Nor can we. We don't have any easy source of iron right now. The water tube boiler is a production method. And so it will remove... No, it will change professions. It doesn't remove workers, I believe. Huh. Well... We'll go ahead and do it anyway. It's in the correct tech tree line. Well, someone start getting booze. I don't need booze. What I need is tobacco. Like, it feels very strange to suggest that we need to get more addictive substances in our Indian territory. That's 3 years. This is only 13 months, not at first. Are texts I dislike in the game? I don't know. I don't have a deep enough understanding of all the different texts to have real judgments of do I like it or do I not. There's some that I take grudgingly every time. I don't really understand the military texts. I think the military tax I always just move up, because why wouldn't I move up? And I don't know. I don't know. There are other ones that I, approach with some trepidation. This consumes more tools. It's oh, there's no coal mine yet. I was confused why it was not giving me any further productivity. It's because it doesn't exist. Alright. Barracks, we can't do general training yet. So we're just gonna hang out, do the best we can. Public trams, we can't afford the engines, unfortunately, so it's all staying more or less the same for right now. Gradual expansion, but nothing too exciting. A rousing speech encourages people to support the national militia. Good job! And then we picked up some other tech that was inessential to our current playthrough. The tech I need is intravitro, IVF. Vitro fertilization. International, intravitro, intra. What's the vowel? What's the vowel here? IVF is in vitro. It's in vitro. We're good. It's not intra anything. It's in vitro. My apologies for making it really complicated. That's what we need, though. We need ways to help people have children if they want to have children. It'd be great. Absolutely great. All right, Oklahoma, you're gonna need a university. You'll make it work one of these days. How's that railroad looking? We're up to 40 people hired. It was 12 last time. Get those trains moving. Oh boy. Yeah, it's 90 money for an engine here compared to the American market. Now, is part of that because of our bad market access? It might be. But if I can just get you going. Sometimes the train's already subsidized. That button is subsidized. We're doing all we can. We're pouring money into it, but it's a very slow process. We don't have much population here. I could stop subsidizing other buildings. Yeah. Sorry, team. No one else gets subsidies right now. Because I sure do need competition among everyone except for the railway. So they are hiring people now. Cool. Unfortunately, I'm making money again. I don't want to be making money. So I guess we'll make our construction building as one does. That's the wrong button. And attempt to get that number going down sooner or later. Did I increase my construction method? Yeah, we're level 2 already. We need money? No, we're actually stockpiling. My gold reserve is all the way full still. Hey, Gilly, it's good seeing you, my friend. How's your farm doing? Always a pleasure of you to stop by. Hakwa Wanape has offered to spend some personal wealth to build a university in Oklahoma. I'm sorry, what? It's going to give the industrialists some influence. I don't care. I don't care. Friends, we have a university. Boom, done. Do I need to build my own then? Now, can they actually run this thing? Probably not. Your farm might be dead. You haven't logged on the computer in a few months. I'm glad you're stopping by to see us, Gilead. I'm glad you have a chance to check out the farm. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, I didn't even have to build that. A second one feels silly right now, but if I've already started building, I may as well finish it off. We do that railway first, though. All right, the PB are now only 17% powerful. We're still in the first phase of national militia going through. It's going to take a while. Hey, there we go. I mentioned it moves on to phase 2. Fantastic. Okay, now I'm hemorrhaging cash. We finally did the thing. What that thing is, but we finally did the thing that allows the Video games say, ah, there goes all your money. It might be the subsidization of the railroads that finally did it. No, we're only burning 127 a week on that. Where else is the money going? Okay. Like I said, getting the new construction building up and going might cost us some money. And indeed it does. Other than that, everything has stayed more or less stable. Subsidies number went up a decent amount. But yeah, it's one more construction building going from 15 to 18 so far. We're building faster than before, but it is a little expensive. That said, we do have 92,000 money saved up still. And if need be, we can destroy a construction building, which does feel so silly. Turning it on, turning it off, turning it on, turning it off. Based on what the economy can handle at the moment. Yeah, people seem happy though. Standard of living has even gone up today. It started at what, 10 or so? Today it's up to 12 already. Yeah, maybe my subsidization was an issue. Oh, again, we don't have any taxes either. So if you go to normal taxes, we get 0.03 more money. It does not seem worthwhile to raise taxes at all at this point. Consumption taxes. Yep, that's not very much. Okay, the economy is in free fall, my friends. Someone's fine suggestion to build one more construction building may have been a slight issue. Absolute free fall. Alright. So I have to unmake the one we are currently making and get rid of one more again. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have much in the way of materials to help our construction sector stay cheaper. Wow. Hey, Livingston, I'm excited about next patch. I honestly don't know what next patch for this game is supposed to be. I do not follow these things at all, unfortunately. But yeah, it should be cool. I'm delighted to see any fun changes. Oh my goodness. What on earth did I do, team? I'm trying to think back through everything I've done recently to figure out which, if any of them, is the issue. No, as a puppet, I can't import anything. As a puppet, I have to hang out and hope the American market does things. But if the American market struggles in the price of iron, for example, then I do also. So I wonder if that's part of it. And I'm trying to consume more and more pieces and parts. Especially on the railroad. Yeah. I guess the building portion is also being very, very expensive right now because I went to level 2 here. If we go back to wood frame buildings, it's not as bad. We are losing some money, team. Not looking good. I'm a flanker. Thank you for the raid, my friend. Welcome in, flanker. I'm Resorty. We're playing a little game called Victoria 3, or How to Crash an Economy in Genuinely 5 Minutes. Alright, the evangelicals are not sure about the national militia. They don't fully understand what it is to arm the people to defend the great state of Indian territory. So, do we allow the evangelicals additional support? Absolutely, we appreciate it. 58% chance of going through. You're playing Broken Arrow. I feel like I know that game, but not certain on that. Team, what did I do? I realized as we make more money goes to the Americans. But it's only 400. It is the price of construction good went really, really high, really, really fast. That's entirely it. We were cruising for a long time. Huh. I may have to do the awful, awful thing and stop constructing again for a while the Americans figure themselves out. Okay, more logging camps would be good. The railway is now functioning using 20 infrastructure. So, we have healed the infrastructure issue, possibly. 25 of 36. Excellent. How much money am I dumping into the university right now? University. A good amount of money is going, but awesome. We've healed the market access problems. I probably don't need this railroad yet. And we get rid of the university. We still have no available workers, so building it all might be silly. Now we have people shifting between jobs, all very good. And yet, cotton's in big demand. Oh, right. The reason we're making more cotton plantations is because the worker situation is very different there. I promise I intend to liberate them one of these days. It's just, you know, a difficulty. Gold in Arizona! Also, the US is going to war to go beat up on the people of Colorado and eventually Utah. Oh, America. You just want it all to be blue, don't you? From sea to blue sea. Which shade of blue would you call this? Is it azure? Azure? That word comes to mind. I don't think it's right. It's just blue. It's not royal blue. It's too light for that. I don't want to fight. Yeah, the Americans rush in right away. Actually, that's not the Americans. I apologize. That's the Utes protect themselves. What are other blue shades? No, periwinkle, baby blue. The word periwinkle came to mind for me also, but I don't know what it actually is. All right, team, it's time for Color Picker with Resorty. What is periwinkle? I mean, that's not so far off. Now, you will recall I don't actually know how to compare colors well. It's somewhere between periwinkle and baby blue, I believe. Somewhere between those. Something like that, possibly. Fascinating stuff. Backroom dealings. The rural folk have been involved in scandal. Scandal. Oh no. We personally involve ourselves in scandal also to get this thing through. That's our first setback. We are not playing as clean... Is it clean-nosed? Something like that? I don't know. We're not playing as entirely on the side of right and good in this playthrough. Getting the laws through, being able to defend our territory from the Americans is the most important thing right now. Hello, Mexico. They're plus 13 to me immediately. Support independence. Is there anything you care about in Ray the government? As I said before, I'd love if there were a way to tell if there's anything they care about. I guess Mexico is opposed to slavery. If I add this in, yeah. And maybe no one actually cares about other people's laws. Maybe the spreading democracy thing is for the birds. The birds who are in the bushes. Jokes are jokes. I need the American president. Oh, now Hazen Ewing. Hazen Ewing, a Yankee, ended up winning the presidency. The Dixie person last time. This person seems to have no strong opinions on slavery. We'll see what happens as other states are incorporated as slave states or free states or otherwise. What's Arkansas up to these days? Hello, Arkansas. Kansas exist yet? Hello, Kansas. You bleeding, Kansas? Don't know they're doing it all. Okay. I think we hang out for a little bit after this cotton plant's done. Yeah, as a cotton plant finishes, we pause the construction queue and see what that does to the economy. We are, of course, the top buyer of things, but the top bar of things in Oklahoma. Across the broader nation, though, we are a very tiny element of the economy. So we're still losing cash. We're getting money now from the investment pool, so we're getting in the exact same amount being spent on construction goods. The further issues, though, are what? Subsidies and railroads a fair amount. We're fighting the Utes. Hope that goes well. Does the Civil War always happen? No, it's possible to have a compromise that maintains legacy slavery forever and always. So no guarantee on a abolitionist U.S. I sure would appreciate the Civil Wars. I can maybe slip out the back door when that happens. The hosts start yelling at each other, and so, party's over, out we go. Is this true? That the only money I would get is 0.01 via tax increases? Let's watch and see. 0.01, really? National Militia's on now to the third and final phase. Yeah, so this kind of taxes is not going to save us. In fact, I don't know what's going to save us. Oh, I put military wages all the way at the top. Someone got overly excited about having a military. I don't know why I did that. In peacetime, we usually leave it at 0, in fact. That said, the armed forces have become the strongest power among us. And they're very, very angry. One of our leaders just retired. Which is it? Yeah, the leader of our intellectuals is now this fellow. He is a protectionistic person. So no free trade allowed. Not sure to help you on that one. A mining accident occurred. One of our mines collapsed. It's a story of tragedy across the nation. We could say bad things happen, more industry good. This upsets the workers. Outrageous to abuse the common man, or the mines are a blight. I'm going to say it's abuse. We got to treat our people well. I thank you very much indeed. Our interest is only 223. The PB are giving us our lowest possible interest rate for a nation of our size, namely nothing. How, though, do I fix this? I guess I'm going to turn off the subsidies to the railroad right now and see if they can function on their own. The answer is most likely no, but let's see what happens. Yeah, the price of transportation is actually 0 right now. So much cheaper here than anywhere else. So I can start using railroad methods in some of my buildings, which feels unbelievably early compared to how I normally play the game. Go to our building pages in general, and then who can use the railroad? Logging camps! You can use the railroad. I think that's the only one right now that can. That's not true. Coal mines can also. Puts transportation prices to average still. It gets more expensive to put it at the cotton plantations, so hold off on that. Going to higher level tools requires more iron. Can't do that. If we go back to Oklahoma, though, we can see how profitability is working in different locations. So the tooling workshops, the price of tools is so expensive, but they're not being able to hire enough laborers. Is that due to population overall? They're peasants again. We found some peasants! Out in the woods, there's a group of people. They've now been domesticated, civilized. They're coming to support the old economy. Our standard of living is the 6th highest in the world right now. Now, as many of you know, when you have a smaller population, it's much, much easier to get standard of living up. But the overall standard of living in the US is, where is it? 11.5. Ours is 14.5. People are having a good time. That said, a speech in favor of the national militia has collapsed. It's terrible. People are shouting. I can lower the chance of going through by 15%. I can blame our leader or reset again. I will reset again. 2 strikes. We're playing on the baseball because we're Americans, so 1 more strike and we are indeed out, unfortunately. Alright, so even with the railroads off, we're struggling a little bit. I'm considering putting a tax on something to lower standard of living. We're so much higher than we need to be. What is the biggest possible consumption tax? It's clothes. Services has finally gone up. Okay. Tobacco is kind of expensive. I mean, taxing clothes is normally a horrible thing to do. Like clothes and grain and that kind of thing. However, to get money, I'm going to hold off on that for right now. We're losing under 1,000. That's okay. Treasury bonds have gone down. The PB are a little less happy than before, so we're paying slightly higher interest. Going from, I think, 244 to 292. At this point of the game, I feel like I'm running a household budget. The amounts are so unbelievably small. The evangelicals have fallen out of power. We have a number of groups that are right on that 20% there. We know about fractional distillation if we want to make some booze. That says not anything we're heading towards anytime soon, because we actually don't have food industries, and I'm not sure we will for a while. Why was I researching that? Probably just because at that point in history. That's the case, though. Better agriculture will help us. I believe you can get some workers free via doing that. Market access has dropped again. Why is that? Is it because I'm no longer subsidizing the railroad? Yeah, we've dropped to only 20 production of infrastructure, where previously it was much higher. So it is... yeah. When I stopped subsidizing, it looks like they lost all of their workers for a little bit. You know, larger labor pool. We're about to go over 200,000, which we were previously. Is migration happening the wrong direction? We have an army of emigres heading out. Also, I spiked the price of transportation way too high. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off of which one? I put it on coal mines and logging camps. I'm going to put it on just coal mines for now. I need the coal for the railroads as much as possible. Who is not profitable? Tooling workshops are struggling a little bit. It's just workers. Coal mines are struggling a little bit. It's just workers, etc. Yeah, I think this is part of the game where all we can do is just sit back and transportation very cheap again. Such a small change. I believe I could put trams on. Yeah, unfortunately in this case, because everything's in Oklahoma, any change we make affects all of Oklahoma and all of our camps. Eventually we'll have different locations, hopefully, like a complete state of Oklahoma first and then head on out to Georgia maybe. Regardless, the national militia has passed. We can get a whole bunch of conscripts. How many is that? How many is a whole bunch? Well, as right now, none. We have to push the conscription button, I believe. And that will then get us the conscripts as needed. I don't want to bring anyone else in right now. We can have 5 conscripts. Well, that's not a lot, but it's also not nothing. Okay, things to do. Per capita taxation would make me very, very happy if possible. No one who is in the government wants it. But if I get the PB or the rural folk in, it would help. Oh, that's not true. I apologize. We have traditionalist economic systems. We have to get rid of that first. So, who wants to change off of traditionalism? What does traditionalism mean exactly? Pre-industrial subsistence economy with little central control. That's an issue. Gotta fix that. So most folks want agrarianism, which means a rural economy emphasizing agricultural development and community. That's lovely, but I either need an extraction economy or laissez-faire. Are we ripping up our nation right now? Colonial economic system which focuses on maximum extraction of capital for the benefit of the metropole. Nah, no one wants laissez-faire. I guess agrarianism is a step in the right direction, or interventionism is. Agrarianism would not be the worst thing in the world. We have to have romanticism understood first, though. Is this the most recent patch? I think so. I've installed every patch that came through recently, so we're kind of hanging out right now. This is my second or third playthrough in a row in which I've been unable to do much because of population issues. Yeah, our last playthrough was in Sweden, and Sweden was super racist against any non-Swedes. Go and just do interventionism as a step in the right direction. Yeah, I may need to play some playthrough in which we have a lot of population. Japan's a fine one to do for that purpose. Alright, industrialists, you want to join the government for a little bit? How bad could that possibly be? That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Nobody likes that. What's the highest I can do? So the rural folk are the most fully supported. Rural folk and industrialists. Surely you all want the same things. I was going to go to 37. Okay. The government is not a good one for right now. And then I can lower taxes again to get 5 more legitimacy. The government is functional for the moment. Will it change? Who knows? Landowners hate it. Industrialists love it. So armed forces and landowners big cranky right now. Got it. Have I heard of the After the End conversion mod? Yeah, I've heard of quite a few total conversion mods for Paradox games. I haven't ever played any of them. I'd be delighted to try them at some point, but I think I just like the game as it is. And so if if I'm doing total conversion mods, I worry I won't like the game as much as I do in its basic format, but perhaps it's an unnecessary worry. Intelligentsia have 5% of political power. Good job. It's mostly due to their leader, Andrew Rogers. Hey, the last fellow who was leading the Intelligentsia was a traditionalist, maybe, or something that's problematic. He's a Democrat. He supports different kinds of voting. Does my current government want different kinds of voting? Moving away from... What do we have? We still have pure autocracy, actually. That's why I can make the government whatever I want to whenever I want to. Yeah, moving out that would be pretty smart also. That'd be a very, very good change. Should I abandon interventionism? I'll give it a couple rollies, but if I get the people involved in decision making, maybe I can make them realize that multiculturalism is not the worst thing ever. And somehow get them to pay their taxes and bring more people in. So, we shall see. Mexico, how you doing? You good? Hudson's Bay Company we're saying hi to also. Britain, I believe we can't speak to directly anymore. There's high of possible relationships, though. How's Russia feeling about the US right now? Yeah, still unengaged, disinterested. Russia's doing the Alaska thing. The US is hanging out. 1853 is upon us. Oklahoma has been fully colonized. Tiny little sliver left here. There's not much left. So very blue. I wonder if he was going to try to head up in this direction to Idaho. Are they ready to upset the British to fulfill their absolute destiny of controlling all of it, and then sending their Monroe Doctrine around the rest of the hemisphere? We'll see. The Americans are no longer struggling for iron. I do not know what they did to fix that. They probably got some mines up and going somewhere. We are very grateful that iron is flowing in somewhat freely now. Unsubsidized, the railroad is getting going. It's just slow. And so our market access is up to 82 again. It was swinging between 50 and 100. So as it's going non-subsidized, it should get there eventually, which then fixes our infrastructure problems. But a dye works? Hello? One moment. We don't have a dye works? Anyway, several workers died today at the Oklahoma Dye Works when dye made them die. We shall all die sooner or later, or not have died in vain. I don't think I want to go hard labor unions early in this playthrough. So I'm going to say, unfortunately, the march of industry must continue. With my strongest apologies to all those workers who died. It is necessary for the sake of the glory of the Indian state. I'm a monster. I'm an absolute monster. Hippies in the 70s not die in vain either. Try to think of a joke on vain. I got nothing going, unfortunately. Because they didn't inject, they inhaled, right? If they injected, oh, I could have a good vain joke, but got nothing. Brick and Ed, they get the next Labor Day off. Labor Day has not been invented yet in my neck of the woods. No matter what rabbling is happening elsewhere, right here, we believe in, I don't know, good Protestant work ethic on every day but Sunday. I guess that's that. This is going to be a rough changeover. I just don't have enough people interested in interventionism. The main political power does not care about this question at all. Speaking of Labor Day, I realized that I missed a stream yesterday that would have been a lot of fun. You know, I did a very brief stream, but so many of you were off yesterday, and you probably wanted to have more, more fun, more streaming engagement, and I just left all at once to go to the doctor. So my apologies for those of you who want to hang out and have a good time. And now I'm here, but hopefully your Labor Day was nice if you were a person who got the day off for the American celebration of workers. Not internationalism, workers. What do I invade your island? I don't, El Turtle Hermit. The Indian Territory has an actual goal called Turtle Island, which is the name of the continent according to some Native American groups. So yeah, our goal is to free ourselves from the US and become Turtle Island and expand very nicely. Fake holiday Labor Day is 1 May. Absolutely, brother, absolutely. You can go read about why the United States does not celebrate Labor Day on the 1st. The 1st of May instead was, what was it? They inserted some other, National Identity Day instead, which is absolutely hilarious. It was why does the U.S. not celebrate Labor Day on the 1st of May? Because we celebrate it like Nationalism Day instead. Or at least that was what it was called back then. It's not nationalism, but something equally ridiculous. We love the King Day, most likely. If we don't get a positive outcome on interventionism here in possibly this spin, maybe next spin, I'll go ahead and stop interventionism and move to change in voting power. Because I need to have the people more involved in this thing. Gold in Arizona. Please find some gold in Oklahoma. We're looking real hard. Oh no, the railroad's falling apart again. Railroad, no! I need to re-subsidize, most likely. But my economy, even without building, is falling apart. What did I do? What did I do that's causing it all to fall apart? Also, the private industry is currently building, despite my having no functional infrastructure. How do I feel about this? If I subsidize... Thank you, Drek, for knowing the truth. If I subsidize again, it's going to cost a ton of money. Anyone want to take on my debt? I don't think I can ask people to take on my debt because I am, unfortunately, tiny baby inside of the US. May I? I may. Unfortunately, nobody wants that. US, it's a very small amount of money. I know we've had a hard time, US, but they're even more fully going to take on my money. Uh-oh. How do we repair the economy? Questions from Resorty right here, right now. We need to change our form of taxation. But I can't do... They really want it. They really want the change there. Why did I not try for this already? Right, we have to get off of traditionalism. That's it. We have to get off of our pre-industrial way of life. No more gold in Arizona. Does the philosophy stream not an economic stream? One of the great falsehoods of contemporary economics is that it's not a philosophy. It tells you how things really are, how people really are, how there's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and all of us are self-interested. Rationally self-interested, they say. Don't need to think about why that is, but of course we're that way. Every economic theory is a philosophy that lies about being a philosophy. I would encourage you to read a book called The Worldly Philosophers. Worldly Philosophers talks about the great economic thinkers and the ways in which they were actively trying to do philosophical thinking. And then, round about the period of people like Milton Friedman, there's a claim that you don't need to have philosophy, you just need to tell how people really are, and then stick with it. And every time that Friedman was approached by other economists and thinkers saying, you're making a profound assumption about how people work, and here are many historical and anthropological accounts of other ways people really work in the world, Friedman would just ignore it. There you go. There you go. Economics professors at my school do the exact same thing. My students come into my class who are econ majors and say, oh, it's nice that you want people to help each other or engage in moral good. They'll only do that if there's something in it for them. And it's maddening. Maddening, the end. Brickhead Ed, thank you for the A+. My little lecture rant earned an A+ grade today. Yeah, there's a lot to say about that. Maybe that'll be part of the upcoming philosophy stream. Probably in 2.5 weeks. You're getting your philosophy stream finally, and I will rant at you about the economics professors. I will go department by department in my school and tell you what's wrong with their fields. It's not that economists are committed to teaching sociopathy. I mean, there's one way of talking about it, sure. Yeah, if we say that things like greed and self-interest are the worst habits humans have, why do we have a field that says that's the only way humans can be? It's very, very sad. But if any of you are econ people, I apologize for pillorying your profession. But there's a traditionalistic bent in the field that there's being a movement away with interesting behavioral econ and so on. But yeah, the field from like 1940 forward is laughable in its assumptions and cruel in the ideology it teaches its students. Enough. Okay. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? The building is happening. I guess I need to trust the people who are building out of the investment pool to build the right things. Though again, with no population, it doesn't really matter what we build. A team, how does one encourage immigration in this game? Does the standard of living have anything to do with it? Like, how do potential immigrants determine where they're going? Because I've seen some very unusual, unexpected immigration modes in the game. People coming from very far away for no good reason. You open the borders. I mean, that's definitely part of it, right? On the law side, you open the borders and change the culture, right? You make multiculturalism coming along. But what I'm curious about is, assuming there are two nations, both with equally open borders, both with equal levels of citizenship, is there any formula for how characters choose where to go, or populations choose to go, or is it random? I don't know. I don't know. Because I want to believe my increasingly high standard of living, holy cow, it's getting too high, is part of it. I need to tax that, unfortunately. The state needs your money. Stop spending all of it. Oh my goodness. Standard of living is part of it. Okay. Okay, that's good. Oh, we got a positive interventionism outcome. I need this to pass. I will bribe anyone I can to get it to pass. I'm going to stop bolstering the liberals. Not because I dislike them, because I need as much authority as possible to spin the wheel of interventionism as fast as possible. The pro-slavery movement's down to 3%, no interest groups involved. So I'm going to stop suppressing them also to really maximize authority. So you spin as fast as you can and hopefully get you through. If we don't get off of traditionalism, we can just not change taxes. And my lovely natives are making big, big money. Isn't this the, what's it called? The underlying premise of that very long movie that came out recently? What, Killers of the Flower Moon? It's like 4 hours long. Maybe not quite that long. But it was fascinating to see how some natives, who are often thought of as being, you know, completely impoverished through the Trail of Tears and the dispossession of their property or their traditional places of living, ended up, you know, instead being incredibly wealthy, including compared to the local white population and the troubles that introduced. Any of you watch that Killers of the Flower Moon? Is that Scorsese, maybe? Maybe. Our leader attended a bourgeois fundraising banquet in Tulsa, which leads to more money promoting interventionism. That's great. I will absolutely accept that one. Or we can let more money into politics in general, but leads to my my leader becoming a grifter. I need the money for the state. I don't need the money for the individual leader of the state. That was a great film. Really enjoyed it. Me too. I think what amazed me about that film is even though it does go on for 3.5, 4 hours, I didn't feel bored at any point. At no point did I say, oh, this is kind of dragging. We don't need this scene. Also, I completely forgot about like bodily needs. One would think possibly over that period of time you can use the restroom. But no, it flowed very well. It's a movie that earned its length. Occasionally some films, even those of an hour and a half of length, I'll think, man, that scene was gratuitous. That scene was included just to make the film longer, it seems. But I tell my students this often. I tell my students that when you're writing, you shouldn't ever think about word count. And I dislike word count assignments in a big way. You think about, do I need to say this thing, right? And then where the motivation comes super interesting. But am I saying this thing just to put words on the paper, just to make it longer? Or am I instead trying to make a point that matters to me and matters what I'm trying to argue? So shorter can be better in some cases, all the way, all the way. Now, as much as anyone else I know about when teachers say it must be 4 pages long, you go in and you increase the size of your periods. Y'all know this one? Anyone in school still wants to know how to make their paper longer without actually adding anything? If you increase the font size of your periods, they look like the same size, but they make your paper suddenly longer. It is a dirty, dirty trick. There are a few others. You can get away with changing certain amount of kerning and certain margins without the professor noticing. I remember back in high school, I had a teacher, an English teacher, who when she would do her grading, would use a ruler to make sure your margins were exactly the length or size they were supposed to be. You can, at the college level, you can definitely expand them a little bit and I won't notice. Or I'll see something seemed a little off here as far as like the way it's spaced, but do I actually care? No, not enough. That said, I don't give word counts. I give students like a general length. Like out of this thing, I'd like to have, you know, roundabout a few pages as opposed to roundabout a few paragraphs. You know, make it work. But as long as they cover all the necessary points and show thoughtful engagement, I don't really care that much, frankly. That's how it goes. Last paper, you had no contractions. You had no contractions. Also, you can add in completely unnecessary adverbs. So the dog ran quickly. No, the dog ran very quickly. The dog ran incredibly quickly. Incredibly is longer than very, right? This sort of thing. Yeah, I think when one introduces that kind of metric, it must be this length, it must be this many words. One is absolutely engaging a perverse kind of incentivization, where students don't actually think harder or do more work, but instead do like useful work. They do kind of dumb work instead. That's my sense of things. How do I heal the economy? I need to do something to heal the economy. We're up to full infrastructure again, I believe. True? True. I just need to get this through. And then change tax law, and we should be fine. In the interim, yeah, I can get such tiny money off of consumption taxes. We were flying along so very well as an economy until we built the railroad. And the railroad requires me now to fly along very quickly in absolute poverty. So I'm somewhat unsure what actually happened. Romanticism unlocked. Fantastic. With romanticism, we could potentially go to a different form of economic organization, but not necessarily right now. We can build the Arts Academy if we want to. Also, we have the Army Reserves, more conscription. So earlier, we had 5 possible conscripts. Now we have 6. 6. Haha! One at a time. Also, intensive agriculture. Fantastic. May I help with the upgrade of the food? Let me say what else I want, though. Things that make money would be good. Wait, we don't know how law enforcement works. I don't need law enforcement urgently, but still. Banking will take me 34 months. Law enforcement, 34 also. Banking gives me a stronger economy by, I don't know, telling the people to put their gold inside of my boxes, not their boxes. Don't you worry, I'll keep it safe. I won't even use it all that much. Have you read the Parable of the Talents, possibly? I don't know. Okay, so with intensive agriculture now done, do I have what I need to go up? Okay. Fertilizer will start being used. Fertilizer is not available locally, but it is available throughout America, of course, with the various cattle farms of here and there. And I believe that's the only change I can make for right now that's useful. Don't need fancy clothing yet. We can't afford fancy tools by any means. Yeah, gotta leave it as is, unfortunately. Okay, some good changes, more food coming in, fantastic. We're up to 37% chance of interventionism going through on phase 2 out of 3. Can we raise taxes before the economy goes completely bankrupt? That said, going bankrupt as a puppet might not be the worst thing ever. because we lose prestige, we don't have any prestige, etc., etc. All right, friends, as I mentioned, it's time for an ad break. It's time for also me to leave stream for 3 minutes to get some more coffee and such. So I will be back in just a second. For now, though, I want to say thank you for being here. I hope you're enjoying yourself, and it's always a nice time spending time with you while playing Victoria for sure. For now, though, AFK, BRB, and I pushed the wrong button. Remember this? Remember when someone said, like, Resorty, you don't smile enough? And I decided to be the smile for a portion of stream? I'm glad I still have that available in case anyone ever comments about my face. Unacceptable. Alright, BRB, thanks much. See you in a second. Alright, back again. I thank you for hanging out and waiting with me. Should I leave the smile on? Does that smile make us feel better or worse about the world? If it's a case that makes us feel better about the world, like a happy spirit from one and all, I'm gonna stay on there. Are we smizing? Should the smile go live in the corner? There we go. If we're feeling a little despondent, the smile's always there for us. I'll live in this corner for now. I'm sure no one will be weirded out by that. This is my new way of spurring chat interaction. Resorty, what's with the smile? And I'll say, I just want you to put on a happy face. Something like that. Okay, we're up to 37% chance of intervention going through. As I mentioned, this kind of is the whole story right now. I need this to pass and taxation to pass before the economy collapses entirely. Once we start engaging in taxes, I can guarantee you that standard of living is going to go down some, but it will be good for the overall continuation of the nation. I wonder if it's possible to do a play through the Indian Territory while not being a real state. Like, no taxes, build nothing, other than a construction sector for the private sector to use. I just refuse to industrialize. What an unbelievably boring playthrough that would be. Just build farms, industrial farms? No, better yet, just stay on subsistence the whole way through. How are you playing? You just let time go by. You know, find ways to have the most conservative possible government. The king of corn. Or you'll be amazed by the king of corn. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea, but it's fun to think about different ways to play video games, isn't it? What a good time. I gotta change my government. You know, definitely the government being unacceptable is not ideal. It's not the end of the world, certainly, but, you know, it is leading to slower enactment time and more radicalization and so on, so we'll see. The Buffalo King? Were there buffalo in Oklahoma? I don't know nearly enough about what I'm referred to generally as the West, which I mean basically everything past the Mississippi. Like, I understand this portion of the country pretty well. Yeah, but the West and the taming of is a period of history I don't find all that interesting. It feels kind of nasty, generally. So where did the buffalo roam? I need to be given a home where the buffalo roam. There were in Oklahoma? Awesome, very good. Yeah, my problem, I don't know anything about what Oklahoma looks like. I have this sense of, like, some big cities and then scrubland. Now, is that true? Probably not. But that's my weird sense of the place. I've never been there. Yeah, I've been to the north of it a fair amount. I've flown to Texas, but Oklahoma I've missed entirely. So, one of the largest slaughter of buffaloes was in Oklahoma. That's why I'm building the railroad. People can shoot the buffalo out the window. We're monsters. We're monsters. The pro-slavery movement is growing again, ever since I stopped suppressing it, unfortunately. Can I change the government? If I add anyone in right now, would that help even a little bit? No, make it worse. Okay. If I could just get 6 more points, then we'd have faster enactment possibilities. Part of me is thinking of removing some of these so I get even faster. Or is negative 25 as fast as it can go? Negative 25 might be it, actually. I could do emergency relief. No. I mean, greener grass, we can get more migration. Is not clear to help me even a little bit. And we're just at negative 24 now. 1 point difference, we're okay. Unfortunately, the only migration that's allowed is still just people like us. There's a slight interest among the intelligentsia of changing that, but it's one of those future technologies, future hopes, rather. Okay, in just a few days here, we'll have another opportunity to see if we succeed. We're up to 40% chance of the same. If I were a betting man, I'd bet no, because I'm way too conservative in my betting. Am I right? and put big money. 1 million resorting bucks on no. And it's a no. It's a no. I mean, it's a maybe, actually. It's a yellow light. Just as interventionism looked ready to topple, the PB found itself rallying with the assistance of our leader. His important needs to pass without a compromise. More loyalism. PB gets a little stronger. They're already the top there. This will be a period of the middle class growing gradually. As long as they pay their taxes, I'm not particularly concerned about them. How's the workforce looking? Everyone's good and employed. We still have a bunch of subsistence farms. My sense is I should probably just keep making other kinds of farms to gobble those up gradually. I suppose. Though currently I'm building nothing. That's not great. Yeah, the American market needs more cotton, it looks like. So we'll go back to building. How bad does it? How fast does it get bad? We can take another 300,000. Our interest rate is currently 1,000 of our negation there. I'm guessing it's going to go very low. So negative 4,000 is much, much faster. I don't need the railroad right now. Can we survive 17 weeks of building currently? Negative 5,000. 300,000 divided by 5,000. Well, 30 divided by 5 is 6. We can survive 60 weeks, assuming our interest rate does not go up. Our interest rate will be going up. Fair. I shouldn't be building. back to waiting and trusting the private industry to do what they need to do. And, you know, just hang on gradually. What's upsetting the PB right now? They're in the opposition party. Yeah. They don't like that at all. They'll change taxation also. Gosh, me too. Up to 43% chance of going through. In consideration phase forward. Still a bunch more days. Is there anything else I can do right now? If anyone has any suggestions of things to do while waiting for the law to go through, let me know. Whether in-game or, I don't know. I could like picture-in-picture the cross-res pose. We could bring up Minesweeper. Because with our lack of population, anything we build is just going to hang out open, lacking workers. I could make different buildings and let people find a job of some sort, but yeah, it's all a little dire right now, frankly. Harvest conditions here, there's moderate rainfall, so more everything for agriculture and a little bit fewer goods needed for the PB. Good. The Dark Satanic Mills. Bum, bum, bum. Something tells me when they built all the factories and machines, they're supposed to relieve us of their burdens. We'll still be harvesting the grapes, and they'll be drinking the wine. Uh-oh. Progress is not truly progressive so long as we have our economic classes. I could say industrialism must be the future. We'll never forget the farmers, or we need both factories and farms at the same time. Don't upset anybody, so I'll offer the mealy mouth, we need everything. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Fair question, that. Where is the money going? So it's not construction goods. The interest is about 1,000 of it. The subsidies of an urban center. The subsidies of an urban center. Why was I subsidizing an urban center for 500 money? I realize we need this for services. When on Earth? When? Hey, we got to phase 3. What did I? Oh boy. So, I mean, it is the case that I need services to keep the upper-ish class happy. But 1/3 of my consistent debt was going into this building. I completely missed that. Oh, boy. Alright, I need to get out of debt, so I may have gotten too far. If I lower the wages of government workers, we lose prestige, but some level, who cares? We're already a nothing country in some sense. So that'll help a little bit. How far are we from our next technology? 21 months till we get more banking fun. Anybody want to take on my debt? The US is so opposed. Because they hate me is a large portion of the story there. Mexico is genial towards me, but they just don't want to take the debt either, primarily because my rank is too low. They get nothing of real value. Uh-oh. 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 Oh no, video game. Oh no, video game. I pushed the escape key for reasons I do not know. Hey, it found itself. Hey, I just had to say, oh no, video game a few times, and video game returns to us all at once. Glorious. The intelligentsia are very angry that I had not paying the government workers much. It's okay. It's okay. It's all coming together. Yeah, exactly. The economy crash caused the game to crash. That's how this thing works. The urban center is healing itself now. Everyone's got to compete in the open marketplace. No more subsidies except for the railroad. 43% chance of intervention going through. I think there's no reason to do anything other than top speed right here and allow various kinds of events to happen to us. This I'm going to bet yes. I bet that yes. 43% it goes through. I bet 1 million resorty bucks. It stalls. I owe you all 1 million resorty bucks. I'll get right to that. The rural folk in government demanded compromise in the enactment of interventionism. They're condemned by supporters of our leader as corrosive to the whole. We could say, let's not do the rural folks' desire. That slows down going through, but no other problems. Or we act against the president. It has a higher chance of going through next time. It leads to the modernization movement becoming more rabbly. That's fine. I think we fully support things that modernization wants. They want me to move to a trade policy that is not mercantilism, and we'll work on it. They want children to not be in the mines. Yeah, we'd like to modernize at least some. We're working on it. Ideally, they want laissez-faire or command economy. Or interventions make them happiest. Yeah, we'll have that in just a moment, you modernizing people. Hopefully they don't want to fight a civil war over children in schools. Like, I want the kids in schools also. Speaking of kids in schools, did you all see the Oklahoma test that just came out yesterday? Such political performance nonsense, but Oklahoma, the place where I live, Oklahoma has a test for teachers who are coming from the woke states to make sure they understand what education means in Oklahoma. Question number 1, according to various Supreme Court cases, who is primarily responsible for the running of schools and children's education? Parents. Parents are responsible for this one. And on it goes, talking about really sad conceptions of other people, really historically dubious presentations of things like the Great Depression, and what is Martin Luther King Jr. known for being a DEI person. You're arguing in favor of diversity, equity, and inclusion, which he certainly did not use those kind of phrases. Regardless, the Afro-American students want to teach their native languages in my Indian schools. I thought the whole point of Indian schools was we teach them English and make them forget their cultures. Teachers are penalizing the use of these languages. Schools should teach them the proper languages, or language is heritage. I'm sorry, we're monsters here. Need to make sure we have nothing but, and nothing but English all the way. Is that our national language, actually? I don't actually know what our language is. Cherokee. Are languages in the game? I can't remember now. Why is there a smile? To make you happy. Pat, the only reason the smile's there is I found the button for it, and it made me happy to see the smile again, so I decided to leave it up there. It's a little creepy, but it'll stay there for us to stay true, I believe. Supporters of interventionism have questioned the government publicly on why it's taken so long for it to pass. I agree. I agree very much. The modernization people are big angry we haven't put it through, or we find out we just speed it through by burning off more bureaucracy. That's fine. We have yet to make a bureaucracy building. We're going to have to in the next year or two in game, but gradually up it goes. Gradually. Our balance has been dropping pretty hard recently. Didn't realize the Indian Territory had so much autonomy. We discussed that yesterday. I don't know how much autonomy they actually had, but in the game you're allowed to do quite a bit, as long as you keep paying your taxes to the USA. They've largely left me alone so far. We do want more and more independence. The US does not want to give me that. If I ask for autonomy, they're going to say very, very much no. Negative 215. Yeah, looking at the negatives here, like, we could try to make good relations with them to remove this, but they're never not going to be domineering. They're never not going to be able to defeat me in a battle. Again, unless I can get Mexico and Great Britain to help us. We'll see. Coffee talk! Interventions on everyone's lip in the coffee houses. Thank you, everyone. 60% chance of going through. And then we gotta deal with taxes. Oh, no. If I want to, I could try to make things nice with the US. So I get my 483 money back. Yeah, we're being killed by interest. Okay, what can I do to make the PB like me? Led by a moderate, so no special stances in the PB right now. I believe, yes, they're very happy with per capita taxation. The move I intend to make. Interventions went through. We don't care about the majority of elements of that, though I can make a company. That will be great. We care about that only insofar as it now makes available a change to taxes. I can change the government again to a legitimate government. I promise we won't be autocrats forever. I'll let people vote someday. Not quite yet, though. I need to have radical reformation powers. That's right, the radical reform. Okay, we'll make absolutely certain that the rural folks support... They're okay with per capita taxation. I need to support it. The PB coming in will do that for me. Good. Yeah, this is the third government of the year, I believe. But this is huge. Okay. If I can get taxes passed, we should be able to heal the economy, maybe. Because of the attempted change, the petit bourgeoisie are now very happy. So our interest rate has dropped substantially. We're now paying only 1.4 of this giant pile in interest. How on earth do I get out of this? When the majority of what you're paying is, what you're paying every month is an interest rate. What do we call that? We call that student loans. Well, it's student loans in the US. All of you Europeans, we're all pretty jealous of you over there, I suppose. Yeah. Oh boy, that's not good. I knew I was going negative for the sake of getting the economy up and going, but I didn't realize just how fast we'd be into really problematic territory. The taxes should help, and then also what? Oh, can I start a company? I have a company slot. However, you have to have incorporated states. So I have to be independent, I believe, to make my own company. Combined Indian Textile Combine. Is that how they get those beaded items at the tourist trap stores? Lee Wilson and Company. We'll have to look up who Lee Wilson is. I'm guessing these are real people, at least some of them. We'll see. God. Will this law actually save the day? I feel like I've talked a big game about this law. Standard of living is roughly stable. What would help most right now is you're spending money on services. Holy cow. When the poor folks' highest expenses is services, you know things are going up pretty darn well. The rural folk want me to pass protectionism as our trade policy. Gonna say no on that one. Wait, does it matter? Wait a second. This doesn't matter, does it? Because we don't have our own market. We're not importing or exporting anything. Rural folk, does my current form of trade policy help us at all? Am I right, team, that our trade policy is in fact irrelevant? We're such a minor part of any economy, I can't set tariffs. Sure, rural folk. Wink, wink, wink. I will attempt to put protectionism through for you. Oh boy. 1857. The local riverbanks have burst in Oklahoma, destroying homes and taking lives. The banks have been swollen for days. We didn't expect the deluge last night. We weren't prepared. No Boy Scouts there. No scouts, whatever the phrase is these days. Make the state figure out on their own. Le toi, c'est moi. Or we should put money into the relief. It's only $100 per week. Surely that's not a problem. Surely. Okay, the landowners are not paying agricultural taxes right now. That's not a problem at the moment. We'll work on making them happier. The intelligentsia are confused. Some of them will support taxation change. Will I always be in deficit? The goal is no. As of right now, increases in taxation level give us 40 some money. Here's one nice thing. We now know about banks, so we earn a little bit more money every month, and also our loans are a little cheaper. Lovely. No, currently changes in tax levels give us less than 100 money a week. The intention is when I go to per capita taxation, I believe we'll be bringing in, immediately 700 more money. And so I should be able to heal the economy. Maybe. Please don't doubt me. You gotta believe. You gotta believe that somehow I'll heal the economy. I think I actually be able to do so. If only I could deal with the interest payments. We're gonna be fine. Gonna be fine, team. Gonna be fine. He might not be fine. Exactly, Potato Peddler. We were doing so well. Like, at the start of today's stream, our gold reserve was entirely full. And then I started building a little more aggressively. And that brief moment of building a little bit more aggressively was a major problem. Is experience or optimism? I mean, right, I've gotten us out of debt spirals before in other playthroughs. The trouble with minor powers is they have a very, very short runway. The amount of loans you're allowed to take depends on the size of your economy, I believe. And so we're allowed to take out 700,000 in total, where other nations could take tens of millions. Phase 2 per capita taxation. Yeah, the changes in taxation at least will help us somewhat in getting it going. Will it completely defeat the debt monster? Got some concerns. A good call, absolutely. Yeah, your interest rate gets very, very high as well. So we'll see how it goes. Construction is the cause of and solution to every problem. This game is a construction simulator. How much should you build and when is the major decision every single time. See, one thing that's very nice is my population loves me. They love me because there are no taxes. Unfortunately, I'm going to need to stop that pretty soon. Okay, let's go and check the consumption taxes. Yeah, it's such small amounts of money, unfortunately. Hey, Drid! What's up, Drid? Good seeing ya. Friend, welcome. Hello, Drid viewers. I'm Resorty. You probably know by now. You might look at the screen and say, Resorty, you're playing as the USA. No, 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 no. We're playing as the Indian territory inside. Currently, we're on fire. Our economy is also, but don't you worry, we'll heal it soon. Hey, Drid, have a good time with the dog. Give the dog a little pet pat for me if you would. Playing Warcraft 2. Oh, man. Oh, man. I've said before, eventually we should have some RTS month. I should play through all the StarCrafts and all the Warcrafts and all the Command & Conquers and so on. Philanthropy. The upper strata have decided to give generously to the poor. Who needs taxation if our charity helps the needs of the world all the way? Of course, the issue is why should the philanthropists decide who gets help and who doesn't, but alright. We can encourage charitable giving. That makes it 10% more likely that the tax will go through, or directly say we don't need charity, we need the state. Obviously, we need the state very good. With Sins of a Solar Empire and RTS, I've played Sins of the Solar Empire 2, and didn't enjoy it as a stream game. I don't remember why exactly. It just felt slow and repetitive in a way I could not enjoy. Now, maybe the storyline wasn't explicit enough. Maybe the storyline just didn't catch me. But yeah, Sins of Solar Empire, I really struggled to make compelling for myself while streaming. Drek, it's true. Carnegie will surely give us the libraries we need. Who needs the state to do it? Public health increases. All right. Public health institutions. You have to pass the law, actually, to make public health go. If I can fix the state, then we'll do that. We'll see, we'll see. 76%. It's gonna go. Glad to see the U.S. has its economy largely figured out. The U.S. has made a mandate of foreign investment 1. So everyone in the block, that includes me, gets more leverage based on their economy size. That's the way in which the U.S. is ensuring that they are the largest power around, and we certainly will not be. That's okay. The power block is well beyond my consideration. The U.S. stole Kansas, Nebraska? Absolutely. The U.S. is absolutely everything other than a slice of Oklahoma. If I play this again, I'm going to be more aggressive against the U.S. as best I can. We'll see, though. All right. With a 73% chance, it moves forward to Phase 3 on May the 1st. May the 4th be with you. May 1st, coming pretty soon. First day of May, I think Jonathan Colton has a song with that one. Also, yes, Labor Day will be the day on which taxes go up. I guess we're not supporting the anarchist wing of the International these days, but that's okay. That's okay. It'll be good. And then comes the big swing in taxes. I may need to raise taxes to very high for just a tiny little bit to get over the interest hump. Just a little bit. Okay, game speed 5. Nothing else to do. We can look at buildings, I suppose. Hello, buildings. Y'all doing okay? Yeah, less than full occupation anywhere. Looks like furniture's doing the best so far. Oh, this again? A popular playwright endorses a reform. So we can make it more likely to go through. We can say yay PB, or we get 20 points in prestige by having everyone read the Epic of the Taxes. It's like how a bill becomes a law, but instead how your roads come to be. It's a documentary, a play that follows the trials of a single dollar bill and how it gets blown from place to place, sometimes in the tavern keeper's pocket, sometime at the local grocery store, but eventually leading its way to being a road and giving people jobs. Ah, the play of the dithering dollar. Unfortunately, a railroad accident in Oklahoma only narrowly avoided heavy fatalities. The train's engineer did a good job, though. Thank goodness for the engineers, or railmen should get more than a song for dying on the job. I'm sorry, we'll say good job, engineer. Feed that coal fire faster. There's no particular reason to have high prestige. I just think it's a whole bunch of fun to have higher than expected prestige at this point in the game. The leader of the landowners just retired. Frank Ross has taken over. Not very popular, so the landowners will continue being degraded and more. Hey, Hazen Ewing is still the president. He's liked. Really do wonder what's going to happen with the Civil War this time around, if anything. What's the endgame for Indian Territory Run? Is 3 phases. Number 1, avoid annexation. That's phase 1 we're in right now. Number 2, split off with the help of Mexico and Britain, hopefully. And then number 3, puppet the United States. But it's a slow playthrough in the beginning for lack of population, and I want to wait for the Civil War to break off. Now, am I allowed to break off during the Civil War? I honestly don't know what happens to the Indian Territory during the Civil War. Do I have to choose sides? Do I immediately get jammed in with the North? I have no idea. That said, welcome to taxes possibly solve all of my problems. Couple quick things before we get there. Okay. It might make sense to go to a righteous government. I can get 71 at max right now. That's not going to do it, unfortunately. And the reason why that is as I raise taxes, people become crankier and crankier. We're pulling in 5,000 now. Mostly investment pool. So 2,000 to 3,000 to normal. We're losing 300 right now. So the economy is largely healed. If I put on consumption taxes also, we have 435 right now. Taxing clothes, I'm lowering standard of living substantially right now, but just to get us out of debt, I promise I will give you your standard of living back later. But there you go, team. The economy is healed. Now, we could also heal it if need be by raising taxes directly. But I don't want to lead to radicalization. So, cool. There you go. Some of you doubted me. Can taxes save the day? Heck yes, they can. Alright, the rural folk want me to put in protectionistic governments. I don't really want to, but I told them I would. How we do it on opposition to slavery these days? Still the intelligentsia and the trade unions. Most people just don't care. Once the economy is healed, I can do what? I can get back to suppressing the anti-slavery people, or supporting the... Wait, suppressing the pro-slavery people, bolster the anti-slavery people, in hopes they change the mind of the other factions. Voting comes eventually. Voting comes sooner or later. For now, though, I'll fulfill my promise. Who's against this thing? The landowners. Well, whatever. If you want to fight a civil war over trade policy, come on down. Yeah, landowners are down to only 7% of political strength. They're up there 20 for a while. Hey, Bellicosity. I just told everyone what I was doing in this playthrough. I don't want to repeat myself too much. Mostly it's about independence. So surviving politically and then becoming an independent nation is the main goal here, but it's going to be a while on, and I'm not sure I can pull it off. But surviving economically is the first bit here. It's all good, Bellicosity. I should have a gold command. Of course I should. Of course I should. Well, we'll see. We'll see. How many conscripts do I have now? Down to 3. Wait, why only 3? It was 6 for a while. Huh. What determines conscription number? There's no way that changing tax policy changes conscription availability, right? We all agree on that one. Yeah, there's no change on that at all. The military doesn't change that. Is it devastation possibly? We had a big old flood. It's over now. Huh. Well, that's a thing. The intelligentsia are very powerful. Also, they are job creators. Thank you, industrialists. Do Mr. Industrialist. Why has infrastructure dropped so much? Because the private sector is building things despite having no infrastructure. They're not allowed to build trains. They have a state monopoly on that kind of thing. I believe that's the issue here, yeah. Yeah, the railway's capped at 20. I'll have to turn on the old building machine for a moment to finish this one. Plus 6 money. Perfect. At 46 weeks now of negative 2,000. 2 times 46 is 92, boom math. That's me 92,000 money into debt, assuming stable interest rate. Fine. Protectionism phase 2. Like I said, I don't think protectionism is going to be a problem at all for me. It might be. We'll see, we'll see. Alright, so with no authority right now, it's not ideal. And yeah, standard of living has dropped from about 15, 16 down to 13, which is still well above everyone's expectations. The affluent are still living an insane life. They spend money on things that I don't have easy availability to locally, but they're heading into 40 when all they want is 20. Hey, we got the bomb. Hey, we got the field works. We know how to dig in if we're fighting someone. Fantastic. Fantastic. Liberia has sided with Bavaria. So Bavaria has had an internal crisis, and the US has decided to come help. So normal Bavaria is a constitutional monarchy. Hey, it's King Ludwig still. The, where is it? Revolt has what going on? The Revolt, the Republic. Moritz von Hammerholz. Not a real person, but it looks like, yeah, it looks like the US wants to help the Kaiser, or whoever he is, maintain his position there. They want to maintain the monarchy, probably for economic reasons, but I have no idea why. As we've mentioned before, though, the US meddling in Europe is a good way to upset Britain very, very, very much. And so I'm delighted that will continue happening here. Alright, whole bunch of years to get more banking going. So I think it's time to return to production methods. Yeah. what would help us right now in saving workers especially? Dynamite kills workers. That's not great. The Steam Donkey changes the kind of workers we have. And that'll be fine. Speaking of which, what buildings do I have not on top level methods right now? Yeah, there's blow up your people. Get more coal, but have some blowing up, unfortunately, for all the workers. Are we actually at max method for everything we can be? Other than more expensive tools. I'm going to go to iron tools. Incidentally, I'm not going to Europe. We're hanging out in our little slice of Oklahoma. So better quality tools will help us. There's not much steel available on the American market yet, so we can't do anything with that one. Okay, music to my ears. A well-acclaimed troupe of wandering artists has found Oklahoma. Hundreds of requests about the government putting on a show. It's only 100 money. Sure, why not? The why not is we get nothing of value from it, but I want to be happy. The lower classes somehow support protectionism. They like the idea of, I don't know, the government protecting them. Are these Indians? Yeah, we're playing as Indian territory. Yeah, we're playing as an independent territory that the United States government set up as a reservation that would allow the natives to maintain sovereignty over a territory that most of them were not from. But don't you worry, it's yours. You can do anything you want with it. We're playing as Indian Territory, Oklahoma. It's not the whole state, but the portions set aside. So there you go. There you go. Oh, you meant the other picture. Yeah, I mean, the Dilemma pop-ups have art from all around the world. It's very strange sometimes. So you'd be playing as, I don't know, like Denmark, and then suddenly you'll see people from the Raj in your picture. They just don't have event pictures for every single culture, so it's how it goes. Yeah, we're playing as Indians, but not those kind of Indians. Alright, low training rate. So the game's unhappy that we are at war, and I'm not actively training my troops, but we're not really at war. 2 weeks to go on the railroad. Awesome. Then we stop constructing again. The second railroad comes on. We end up with more infrastructure. Everyone pays their taxes. And then everyone claps. So you know, team, we'll probably be ending stream in about 10 or 15 minutes here today. I'm having a good time, but I'm still feeling a little bit terrible from yesterday's medical issues. Don't you worry, it's all fine now, just still feel a little under the weather over it, so we'll have to deal with that. Alright, negative 600, we're no longer building, that's fine. We'll give it just a moment for us to let the economy figure itself out. Should be fine, though. You're also under the weather, so early bedtime's good. I like it. Hello, Rossi. You had to run off to work on cooking stream day. How'd the apple fritters turn out? Yeah, last Friday, Saturday, my wife and I had a cooking stream. If you want to see how I interact with another person in the room with me, feel free to watch that. It's like 4 hours of us bantering along. Having a good time. We made apple fritters. We made donuts for the first time ever in a hot oil fryer. It was not hot enough, so a lot of the oil seeped in to the donuts, and so the apple fritters in particular were soft. And when I'd eat them, I'd end up like a coating of oil around my mouth. And then as they aged, I guess, they became these like mushy oil cakes, and they were not good ultimately. The first day they were good. They're tasty initially, but then they became soaked in oil and just... It was fun, though. It was fun doing a stream with you all. Oil needs to be hotter in the future. And, yeah, thanks very much for hanging out on that one, but it was not ideal. Okay, the government has fallen apart again. I don't know why that is. Something changed. The government's good enough at bringing the intelligentsia in. Why? Why is there no penalty for the intelligentsia coming in? I have no idea. I'll take it though. That lets me put forward the end of slavery as our next law. Okay. If I go up on taxes, we lose legitimacy, the government becomes not so great again. And here we thought we had it all sorted out. Everyone's paying their taxes except for the landowners. They're very unhappy about the tax changes. And also we got rid of traditionalism. Yeah, not great. These will drop off eventually. It's going to take a while for the penalties to drop off as usual. And then they'll pay their agricultural taxes, and that would be good, but fine. Fine. It's 2,500 in interest. The debt spiral all the way. Alright. There's my plan for Krispy Kreme career. As I said before, I need to go work at a donut shop so that I can learn their secrets. The big secret is just higher temperature in the future. You know, as you put things into the oil, those things that go in are cool. The oil cools in the air also. We're trying to keep things moving. You know, we didn't want to have the stream go on literally forever. And so we didn't take enough time to make sure the oil had reheated between every new item. And so we need to work on that in the future. But yeah, if I know how to make my own donuts, I'd be so happy. Because though I'm allegedly trying to get healthier and eating more carefully, blah, 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 lies I say every stream, knowing how to make my own donuts is so much better than buying them. Because they are, you know, kind of expensive here in Japan. It's seen as I don't know, not exactly exotic food, but it's a food for people with a little bit more money, I guess. Failure's learning. Only if I take time to reflect on something, right? Failure can just be failure. Like, oh no, I was walking and I fell over. Well, I don't care why that happened. Forward we go. But yeah, we're trying to do the work, though, of evaluating the situation and figure it out. But it's all good. It's a nice time anyway. We made our breakfast tacos, which always come out well and did indeed do so this case also. Okay, so each of these are giving about 2.5. That's basically all I can get out of these right now. Yeah. Homemade donuts will be slightly healthier. It might be true, Steel. Yeah, it might be true. We didn't cover it with anything, but you know, it's still sugary dough and I don't know what else. I don't know what else went into it. I can't remember right now, but I think any dish where you introduce a giant bucket of flaming oil, you can't say it's anything near healthy. It is definitely a sometimes treat, as the phrase has it. If I increase taxes again, oh man. In current situation, I've got to go to the highest possible taxation to get out of here. I'll need to find the best government I possibly can. Okay. Do I need road maintenance still? With the other railroad coming online, how much infrastructure do I have? I have 55. Okay. If I turn off road maintenance, it goes to 52. We're fine. Sweden has started a power block called the Universal League. Who's in that? Sweden's in that. Also Norway, because big Sweden's coming real soon. So with that turned off, I can now increase taxes on something else. Luxury clothes are only for the wealthy. They'll be fine. That's 100, 100, 200, 300. So 300 points for 200 money does not make sense. 250. Never mind, it does make sense. I was thinking, could I nickel and dime to a higher amount of money, but no luck. You tried to make funnel cakes in your deep fryer. You didn't know your husband made chicken fingers early in the day. Yeah, making sure you clean out that oil is probably important. Doing old-fashioned donuts and apple fritters in the same place were fine. But yeah, suddenly introducing a wildly different flavor might throw someone off. Okay, the US is now taking 1.5 thousand money from me. So our economy actually is in a really, really good spot. We are making so much more money than previously. But as we make more money, we also have to give more to the US. I don't believe I can ask for the end of this particular... Where is it? This particular policy. It's on me, actually. Yeah, I can't stay... Please stop taking my taxes. I can instead try to make nice with them, which we have not done for a while. Interactions. I would like to be your friend, the US, just until you take taxes off. Because our liberty desire is high enough that cozying up with them will not allow annexation immediately. So we should be okay. Protectionism, 10% more chance of going through, 43% at phase 2. I have 2 years and 2 months to pass it. Gosh, I'm trying. Does the US actually need my money? I mean, their GDP is quite high. Do you have a debt right now? They do not have debt right now. So, can't you take care of your little buddy here? Can't you save me? I don't mind digging out of my own grave, so long as they will not take all my tax money in the process. We'd only get 378 back that way. Oh no, what do I do? What else is there? I can disband the army. That will save me 404 money. Time to discuss the very awkward thing that is, do we get more money by not charging consumption taxes and having people pay taxes through manufacture and consumption instead? Oh boy. Even top taxes right now are not going to do it. It looked like we were coming out of debt for a while there. And then things got awkward. Okay, stop the subsidies. The US decided to damage our relations. They don't like that I'm trying to make things nice with them. They want us to stay big, big angry, thank you. So the lack of population is leading to a slight problem here. Where else is the money going? Interest. Alright, if ever you want to see someone push the bankruptcy button, we might be pushing the bankruptcy button in this next bit of the playthrough. We'll then have to sit with 10 years of things looking pretty rocky. The rural folk, led by our current leaders, initiated a great promotional tour. They should drum support for themselves or for us. Us, obviously. I don't see this coming out of this one team. If I increase autonomy, do I pay them less money then? Maybe I'll push this button and see if the other powers will help me. And if not, I lose and maintain my low autonomy. They're not going to force annexation, I don't believe. Huh. Anyone have any suggestions of how to get out of the hole? The interest rate is just way too high. And I can't think of anything else right now. Okay. So, is it time for consumption taxes on genuinely everything? I have 560 left. I'm very sorry to the average person right now. Oh, why couldn't I put taxes on fish? There we go. Okay. We have gone from being a pure libertarian state to the most acquisitive, kleptocratic state that one can imagine. We are positive on the economy, but you're gonna see our loyalists drop hard next little bit. Friends, an ad has happened. I didn't actually see it coming. I'm gonna go and play through this ad with my apologies to the followers, and yeah, then I'm about to bounce probably. No one could see this coming. It was going so well for a while. I thought I'd avoided this outcome. Really thought I had. Also, taxing transportation is making market access a trouble problem, so I probably should stop that. But look, look, look. I just need to pay off the interest. If I can just get out of the interest hole, the economy's in a really, really good spot. Standard of living is dropping. Not too much, though. We're still doing better than those people over in Alabama. Alright, so the plan for the next little bit has got to be we do literally nothing. We hope beyond a hope that the private market continues building whatever buildings we need. We hope beyond hope that despite the incredibly high taxes, people will still show up. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, man. Wait, the GDP spiked just now. Why did the GDP spike? I don't think paying taxes leads to a higher GDP. I'm not an economist, but still, ... I wonder, what on earth would have happened with my increasing consumption taxes? Huh. Well, whichever way. Go in the right direction, absolutely. If I can avoid pushing the I declare bankruptcy button, that'd be good. Yeah, if you push this one, all the money is lost. We're a horrible nation. For 10 years, if you get a loan, it's even more interest rate. Everything goes very slowly, very poorly. It's not a good time. That said, if I have to grind out 10 years, let's see. So our current credit card balance is $755,000 money. I'm currently pulling in 170 excess money. I believe we'll have paid off our credit card about the time the game is over. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. I can't raise taxes any higher. Standard of living is still dropping. What's the most expensive thing now? Fish. Okay. I'm gonna take the consumption taxes off of fish. We're getting 300 money currently. We'll see what changes. So we're losing money again. We're hoping in the standard of living... Wait, fish. We don't make fish, do we? So they'll have more money to spend then. Fish... Wait, why are you spending money on fish? Where are you getting the... Like, who has a freezer to get a... I'm confused. Whichever way, team, that's going to be the end of today's stream. Like I said, I'm still not feeling great from yesterday's issues, but it's been a fun time. I've enjoyed myself immensely. I'll be back tomorrow with some of, I don't know, maybe a different start. Maybe a different start, or I'll overnight think about what can be done to save us. I think we let the interest rate get too high. I don't see us fixing this one without bankruptcying. Whichever way, though, thanks a lot. I enjoyed myself. We'll see you tomorrow for some more video gaming action. Appreciate y'all a whole bunch. Good evening, good day, and goodbye.